Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Yusuf Dakak with you right now, reporting live from a studio, which is my car. Currently waiting to go to my back doctor. So, the news is there's no more podcasts. So there's some key players that played a role into this, so I'd like to really give a moment and dedicate it to all the bums that were able to help make this happen. First, we have Ahmed Seyfan. I can't really blame him personally. He went 0-7 last year and still did it, which that's an accomplishment by itself. Like, you go 0-7, how frustrated he must have been talking about how teams were better than him. That would have killed me inside. I don't know. But then there's Zuzu and Hamuda. Zuzu and Hamuda are like the D Wade and the Chris Bosh. Without their LeBron, they can't do anything. They can't contend. They're just a normal team. They're just average. They're not great. And that is why we don't have a podcast. It's because they couldn't step up into the role of trying to take ownership and leadership to produce something great. So when you have no LeBron, no D Wade, no Chris Bosh, what do? You get a Yusuf Dakak. Someone who has the resume to be able to fill in that void for the podcast. I have 0 rings to go with that. I've played with Fahad as my captain, which that by itself should have a trophy at the end of the season because it's one of the best accomplishments I've ever had in my life. Like, do you know how much Advil bottles I've gone through after each game every week? Let's just say, alhamdulillah, I'm alive. But I'm someone who's going to try to put in some time, try to make a podcast, thing. And inshallah, if this week goes well and I get good reviews and stuff, I'll start putting in more time, more effort, maybe get an upgrade in my studio because the car's getting a little bit tight. But yeah, inshallah, this is kind of like our test week. So let's head into week 1. Our first game, we had Fahad versus Amr. This was a good game on paper, as Amr's team decided not to show up, literally not to show up. In Dalak's defense, he said he might miss week 1, and he ended up missing it because he bought the plane tickets already, which he still said might, so I guess he decided to buy them just in case if he didn't go. But Diot can explain for those who have further questions. But basically, there's not much to go off this game. It was a blowout. I had 20/20 vision going watching that game. I finished with 2200 vision, which in the US, if you have 2200, you're legally blind. So that was that. I did play in the game for a few snaps. Put up my credentials, shut down Brother Kirkwood, just because Fahad overthrew him. So that was good, alhamdulillah. But yeah, moving on to our next game, which was Albeda versus Hassan. Hassan Mensi, the Michael Vick of the league, put on a show. Him and his 2-yard shovel passes were able to put up 72 points, alhamdulillah. 72 points! I don't know if that was just great offense and great blocking by Hassan's part or bad defense by Albeda's. I'm feeling bad defense by Albeda because it's Albeda. The guy doesn't know how to play defense, doesn't know how to do anything right besides show up for the playoffs and beat me, of course. The guy ended my season 3 times in a row. Hold on, right? I agree. But yeah, it was good. Hazem Tariq padded up some stats, had about 5 touchdowns, which is 5 more than I had this year. And we had a new person with his first touchdown for the year of 2016, Ahmed Dab Seyfan. Most underrated player in the league. He blocks for 5 seconds and turns into a Randy Moss the next 5 seconds. Like, I've never seen it before in my life. So watch out for him. Huge key player. Might be running up against his teammate Haslam for Offensive Player of the Year, inshallah. But Yeah, it ended up with another blowout, but, you know, people are like, oh, this is all bad is done, all bad is this. I think all bad is going to be just fine because everyone makes it to the playoffs. In our last game, the Brother Bowl. Shakur versus EB. This game, alhamdulillah, was close because it was getting pretty boring and it was pretty hot outside. EB and his team showed some flashness with Amin Nuru, putting on some older Nuru catch-like performance. He was able to help his team to a first-half lead. But Shakur, showing gritness, strength, toughness, was able to help lead his team back to a W. They have a lot of big names on Shakur's team. Abdurrahman Qadur, Aus Rahima. But the most underrated and their biggest star, I'm telling you this right now, from week 1, is Hamza Abdullah. The guy knows how to get open. And when he gets open, he makes things happen. So just watch out for him. I'm telling you. He's going to be good. So yeah, that was the week 1 recap. Jazakallah.